Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Let's keep an eye on William and Kate, as secondary sources had floated some rumours about her health. Now, GB News reports William and Kate will not be joining King Charles and Queen Camilla at events marking the 80th anniversary of VJ Day this week. Hopefully, this is more about their love of frequent vacations than anything more serious. In early July, when visiting Colchester Hospital, Kate discussed how she's learned to listen to her body. You put on a sort of brave face, stoicism, through treatment. Treatment's done, then it's like, I can crack on, get back to normal. But actually, the phase afterwards is really, really difficult. You're not necessarily under the clinical team any longer, but you're not able to function normally at home as you perhaps once used to. And actually, someone to help talk you through that, show you and guide you through that sort of phase that comes after treatment, I think is really valuable. You have to find your new normal, and that takes time. And it's a roller coaster. It's not smooth like you expect it to be. Middleton also said, but the reality is you go through hard times. The VJ anniversary on Friday will commemorate the end of the Second World War in the Pacific and across the globe. King Charles will deliver an audio message on Friday morning to mark the occasion before attending a service of remembrance at the National Memorial Arboretum alongside Queen Camilla. The service, hosted by the Royal British Legion in partnership with the government, will be followed by a reception where the King and Queen will meet veterans. Other senior royals, including the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, will also attend commemorative events. While the King and Queen lead the national service, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh will be in Edinburgh for a service at the Scottish National War Memorial, where the Duchess will meet veteran Jim Wren, who was held as a prisoner of war in Sumatra until the conflict's end. The Prince and Princess of Wales are not expected to undertake any engagements over the coming days. Prince Andrew once lashed out at a member of royal household staff, calling him an effing imbecile for failing to use the Queen Mother's full title, according to explosive claims in a new royal biography. Entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York, historian Andrew Lowney paints a stark picture of the Duke of York's alleged behaviour behind palace walls. The book, being serialised by the Daily Mail, includes an account from 2005, when Andrew reportedly confronted David Anderson, then head of Hillsborough Castle, after a storm hit Northern Ireland. When Anderson reportedly told the prince that a tree planted by the Queen Mother had been damaged, Andrew is said to have gone cold before sneering, "Did you mean Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother?" Lowney writes that what followed was a cutting rebuke, and you still don't know the proper way to refer to my grandmother. You effing imbecile, get out. The Duke's supposed temper wasn't limited to that exchange, according to Lowney. Andrew's go-to phrase with staff was, "I want this done and I want this done now. Do it." All things considered, for Prince Andrew, this story isn't all that comparatively bad. Interestingly, just last week, Buckingham Palace found itself in an unexpected spot of bother after a social media post about King Charles' appearance at the May Highland Games contained a subtle but significant error involving royal titles. In a post shared to the King's official account on X, the palace originally wrote, "The King has attended the May Highland Games in Caithness, first established in the village of May in 1970 to celebrate the 70th birthday of the Queen Mother. The May Games have since become an annual tradition." However, eagle-eyed royal watchers quickly pointed out the misstep. The reference to the Queen Mother lacked her full proper title. King Charles' grandmother, the late wife of King George VI, was always officially styled as Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, a distinction used to avoid confusion with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II. The palace swiftly amended the post, correcting the title and preventing a minor faux pas from turning into a full-blown protocol flap. And it's not like Charles was palling around with Jeffrey Epstein. Many people would like to tell Meghan Markle to put a stick in it. Well, in the new Instagram stories video shared by the brand, the Duchess of Sussex is seen beaming as she carries a tray of elegant pink popsicles, believed to be made from her own as-ever rosé and featuring slices of frozen strawberries. The caption accompanying the video reads, "What's better than a glass of rosé on a sunny day? Rosé popsicles, perchance? Yes, please, and thank you." An insider told Harper's Bazaar as ever sold 10,000 bottles of its 2024 Napa Valley Rosé in just the first 10 minutes after going on sale. Roughly 20% of those purchases came from repeat customers, many of whom opted for 6 or 12 bottle packs, signaling growing consumer confidence in the brand. The new rosé is the company's second wine release and follows several previous sellouts of legally fruit spread, baking mixes, and floral garnishes earlier this year. For the August launch, inventory was increased threefold compared to July and, as ever, still managed to sell nearly 50% more on launch day than the previous month. The brand's spokesperson described the project as a journey of joy, learning, and evolution, and said the company had refined the wine based on customer feedback. Nothing is more important than making sure our community can get their hands on what they love, they added. No word yet on when the next product drop will arrive, but Prince Harry's birthday is just around the corner on September 15th. Not everyone is convinced it will resonate beyond US borders. Branding expert Nick Eade has told The Express that the Duchess of Sussex may struggle finding traction in the UK market, saying, "I don't think the UK is a focus for the As Ever brand as it's driven by popularity. At the moment, Meghan doesn't have the star power in the UK that she once had." He added that certain items, such as flower sprinkles, may feel unfamiliar to British consumers. There is such a huge choice of rosé wines in the UK, from Kylie Minogue to Lady A, that another brand just won't drive the volume or demand they will need to make it a success. Since launching earlier this year, As Ever has only shipped within the United States. No announcements have been made regarding international availability. Well, we here at Palace Intrigue were intrigued about trying this rosé, and I'll have some personal updates for you next week. More Palace in just a moment. So we spent a week talking about Andrew instead of Meghan last week, and we were rewarded with a bad review on Twitter. Stale and political. I used to love the show, but lately it's become stale. Also, I don't need to hear political takes about US politicians. If I wanted that, I'd listen to a political pod. 2 stars. All right. So I want to take a moment here to address reviews. Let's start with that one, stale and political. Well, the show is called Palace Intrigue. It's a show about the royals. There aren't that many of them. We do talk about the same people every day, but we try to bring it to you in an entertaining, fun, informative, sometimes snarky kind of way. But the show is what it is. As for politics, we never talk about US politics unless Donald Trump wants to have a little meet and greet with Charles, but there's no politics here. It's a politics-free zone. So one problem with these reviews is that there is no rebuttal. There is no chance to address the issue in written form, except here in audio form, and I'm not going to spend time addressing reviews in every show. Now, I don't like bad reviews, not because they're bad, but because they're usually 90% off point. I love good constructive criticism. And when you do that, it's great. But let me address bad reviews. We have 4 main types of bad reviews here at Palace Intrigue. Number 1, you talk too much about Meghan and Harry. We do talk about Harry and Meghan a lot. You know why? Because they're the most interesting, the most polarizing, the most fun to make fun of and talk about. The rest of the family gets a great amount of respect, and as a Commonwealth citizen, they are very much part of my upbringing. But there's only so much we can talk about Camilla's trip to open a Marks and Spencer. Second reason for bad reviews, you play too many commercials. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. This is a business for us, not a hobby, and we have to make money to keep the operation going. You can always avoid all the commercials by supporting us for $5 a month and get everything commercial free, including our new series, Crown and Controversy, before everyone else. And we really appreciate it when you do support us here behind the show. But don't leave reviews saying there's too many commercials. It's the same with every podcast. Number 3, you call Catherine Kate. And I've addressed this before, but this is a US-based podcast, and she is very affectionately referred to as Kate here. It's not any disrespect to her title, but we'll stick with Kate. When you see People magazine, it says Kate is going on vacation, not Catherine. And the worst reviews are the ones like, I don't like this show. It's too political and stale. Or who wants to listen to this drivel? Listen, you can't go into a Greek restaurant and say this place sucks because you don't like Greek food. The show is what it is. We have a nice large audience every day who seem to agree, and we love you for that. So if you don't like the show, just don't listen. No need to review and say you suck. Anyway, next couple of weeks, we'll have some new Facebook and Instagram pages up. Yeah, how very 2010 of us, where you can interact, converse, review all you want. It's up now, but we'll build it out more over the next couple of weeks. So thank you for those nice reviews. Moving on. The royals really like vacationing on secret Saudi super yachts. This time, it's not the oft-vacationing Prince William, but rather his stepmother. Queen Camilla has been spotted enjoying a summer cruise through some of Greece's most exclusive destinations aboard the £30 million super yacht Zenobia, owned by billionaire Syrian Saudi businessman Wafiq Saad. Mr. Saad, a longtime friend of the Parker Bowles family, is a former Conservative Party donor and was closely linked to the 1980s Al Yamama arms deal between Saudi Arabia and the UK. He was not on board during the Queen's holiday, and there is no suggestion of wrongdoing. However, the sight of the monarch's wife holidaying on a vessel belonging to a political donor has prompted questions about public perception, given the royal family's duty to remain strictly neutral. Former Minister Norman Baker said, "Members of the royal family really ought to consider the public perception of such episodes. They are representing the country at all times. Let's be honest, it's not as if they are short of cash." The Zenobia, registered in Monaco, features 6 guest cabins, accommodation for 13 crew, and facilities including a cinema, library, and outdoor dining area. Mr. Saad said he had been friends with Camilla and her family for over 40 years and that offering his yacht to close friends was natural when not in use. The King was not with the Queen on the trip, attending the My Highland Games in Scotland instead. In the Royalist newsletter, Tom Sykes writes, "If Queen Elizabeth II were still with us, one suspects she would be surveying photographs published this weekend of her daughter-in-law aboard a billionaire Tory donor's $38 million super yacht in the Aegean with an expression of flinty disapproval." The late monarch prided herself on never taking a bean from anyone, never accepting freebies, and considered a summer holiday to mean Scotland, not Santorini. She believed to her bones the Charles' taste for grandeur sent the wrong message. And yet, as a remarkable scoop by the Mirror revealed, here is Queen Camilla, wafting from one of Greece's most exclusive bays to another on a Monaco-registered floating palace in full view of the world during a cost-of-living crisis on the dime of one of the Conservative Party's most lavish benefactors. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify or Apple or the app of your choice, and check us out on Facebook now. Search for Palace Intrigue. And leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.